Hello students, welcome back. So in the previous session, we had seen how to create a linked list. Today we are going to learn about traversing a linked list. Okay. So what is this traversing? I have already explained you before. Traversing is nothing but visiting each and every node, right? So traversing is a process of accessing each node of the linked list exactly once to perform some operation. Now these operations can be anything. In the previous session, we had seen if we have to print, if we have to count, we were visiting each of the node, isn't it? So this operations can be any one of them, but basically traversing is nothing but visiting the each node. Now, to traverse a linked list, steps to be followed are given here. So what are those steps? To begin with, move to the first node, right? Then fetch the data from the node and perform the required operation depending on the data type. Advance the pointer to the next node, and step 2 and step 3 is repeated until all the nodes are visited. Now, if I to take an example, if this is my start node and it will have a link to the first node and then to the second node and then to the third node, etc. Isn't it? And we know that in a linked list, always the last node will have a link value which is null, right? So what is it saying? It is saying move to the first node. Okay, with the start, we will move to the first node and then fetch the data. So we will fetch the data or whatever may be the operations. In the case of a printing, we can print the data of each node. In case of counting, we can increment our counter, isn't it? So that's what we did in the last program. So it can be any operation. So once we do that, we are going to use the link of that node and then we will move to the next one. Similarly, we will use the link of that particular node and we will move to the next one until we reach where the link of the node is null. So whenever we get a link of a node is null, this is nothing but we have reached to the last node, isn't it? So I hope this is clear. So these are the steps in order to be followed to traverse a linked list. Now let's see the algorithm. So this algorithm traverses a linked list. Here start contains the address of the first node. Another pointer P is temporarily used to visit all the nodes from the beginning to the end of the linked list. Okay. So we are going to create a node P, which is we are going to say as start. Okay. So start, this is my start. And this is these are my nodes, right? So once I'm going to say P is equal to start, and then I'm going to say if while P is not equal to null, until the P value becomes null, I'm going to process the data of a P. So in this case, suppose this is my 100, this is my 200, what will be the start value be? It will be 100. So P is 100 is nothing but this node, okay? So I'm going to process data. It can be processing, can be printing, counting, anything. So I'm going to process that data and the P is equal to link of P. So whatever the value is there over here, this is in this case, it is going to be 200. I'm going to say P is this value, which is nothing but the P is going to move over here. All right. So again, I'm going to process the while loop. I'm going to check if P is not equal to null. In this case, it is not equal to null. Right. Then again, I'm going to process the data and I'm again going to say P is equal to link of this particular value. Here in this case, this is going to be null. Okay. And then when I'm checking if P is not equal to null, this is going to become false. I'm going to come out of the while loop and I'm going to return. So this is how we are going to visit each and every node or traversing each node, right? So next, how do we do a memory allocation to a linked list? So the operating system of a computer maintains a special list called as avail list, okay, that contains only the unused deleted nodes. Suppose we had a linked list where we have deleted a data or deleted a node. In that case, this memory gets freed, isn't it? So those freed linked list nodes gets stored in this particular list, avail list. Okay, so who maintains this? The operating system maintains this list. Okay, so avail list is linked list that contains only the unused nodes. So this is again, it is also a linked list, but it holds the nodes which have been deleted. Whenever a node is deleted from the linked list, its memory is added to the avail list. And whenever a node is to be inserted into the linked list, a node is deleted from the avail list and is inserted into the linked list. So there is going to be a separate linked list which is maintained by the operating system. Okay, so suppose I have deleted this node, that node is going to come and get stored over here. Similarly, wherever the linked list the nodes gets deleted, it is going to come and get stored here. Suppose I want to add a node in this particular list. In that case, whenever I am creating, what is going to happen, a node is going to get created which is going to come from here. The operating system deletes these nodes and it's going to send it over here. So deleting it from this list and adding it to this particular list. So that is the speciality of this particular list. So avail list is also called as the free storage list or free pool. Okay, so why? Wherever the storage has been freed is going to come and get stored in the avail list. That is why it is called as a free storage list or a free pool. Okay, it is a pool of free nodes which have been freed by the memory. So this is important for you to remember. Avail list maintained by the operating system. So whenever a node is to be inserted in the linked list, a node is deleted from the avail list and it is inserted into the linked list. Right? So this is the special kind of a theory which you need to know. Now, we have seen the traversing already. Now, how do we insert a node into a linked list? We have seen creating, we have seen traversing. Now, if I want to insert a node, how do I do that? So a node can be inserted into a linked list only if there are free nodes available in the avail list. We know why, isn't it? Now, otherwise, a node cannot be inserted. So this is very, very important. Now, accordingly, there are three types of insertions which we can perform. Okay, so what are those? Inserting a node at the beginning of the linked list, inserting a node at the given position, and inserting a node at the end of the linked list. So there are three types of insertion which we can perform in a linked list. Now, let's see them one by one. So inserting a node at the beginning of the linked list. So how can we do that? So for example, this is my start, okay, and I have a list already something like this. So inserting at the beginning is nothing but I'm going to remove this connection and I'm going to add the node over here, isn't it? Something like this, right? So how do we do that? Create a new node. So first we are going to create a new node and then fill the data into the data field and then mark the next pointer field as null. So that is the basic thing we usually do whenever we have to create, isn't it? We create a node, we add the data and then we make this null. So by doing that, we have created a node. Next, we have to attach it. How do we do that? Attach this newly created node to start. Okay, so we have to attach it over here. Next, make the new node as a starting node. So by doing that, we are going to make this as a starting node. Let's see how do we do that. So see the algorithm here. This algorithm inserts a node at the beginning of a linked list. Okay, so I'm going to create a node P. Okay, and then I'm going to say data of P is equal to number. This number is a parameter which we are going to pass. Okay, so while doing that, I'm creating a node called as P and I'm going to store my number over here. And then link of P, I'm going to say start. Okay, so this is nothing but start. So I'm going to attach this to the start and start is going to have a link to the P. So by these two lines are nothing but I am attaching this particular node to my start node. By doing that, what happens? Automatically this node becomes the very first node. You can see that in this image. Okay, I had start here. Initially it was connected to this, but then I created my new node and what did I say? I said link of P is equal to start. So I'm going to whatever the link of P, this particular value, initially what happens is the start will have, suppose this is 100. Okay, initially this was directly linked list. The start had a value 100 over here. Now I'm saying that link of P is equal to start. So whatever this value is going to be, whichever the link was stored here. So 100 is going to come over here. By doing that, this is going to get connected over here. And then I'm going to say start is linked to P. So start, I'm going to remove this connection and then I'm going to connect it over here. I hope this is clear. So by doing that, what I'm doing, I'm adding this to the first node, as in I'm making this as a very first node. Okay, so this is how we are going to add the node into the beginning of the linked list. Now let us see the program for this. So inserting node at the beginning of the linked list. So how am I going to do that? So initial, the class declaration is going to remain almost same for most of the programs. We have already seen the creating list. So see here, I'm going to have a class by name linked list. In the private section, I'm going to create a structure where I'm going to have data and I'm also going to have a link part, and I'm going to declare a structure variable of type start, okay, which is nothing but my start. Next, I'm in the public section. See here carefully. I have a constructor here, which we have seen before. We are going to initialize the start to null using this particular constructor. Then I have print here, where I'm going to print the data values of the linked list. Then I have my count here, where I'm going to count the number of nodes. Okay, this particular function is optional. Okay, either you can use it, or if you don't want, you can just leave it. And then I'm going to have void insert. So this particular function is going to add the node at the beginning. Okay, at the beginning of the linked list. Right. So these are the 4 functions we are going to see. Let's see them one by one with the example. Right, the very first one is going to be the constructor. Okay, so linked list, as you can see, the name of the function as well as the name of the class is same. So this is nothing but my constructor, where I'm going to initialize the start node to null. Right, so as soon as we create an object in the main function, this linked list is going to get invoked and it is going to initialize the start to null. Now next is printing. This function we have already seen in the previous section. Let me explain once again. So printing, initially we are going to check if the start is null. That is, if my start is null, is nothing but this is a empty linked list. In that case, I'm going to directly say the linked list is empty. Initially it is going to be empty, isn't it? Next, I am going to, if it is not empty, then what am I going to do? Then I am going to create a node, which is P, okay, then I'm going to say it is equal to start. Okay, suppose I have nodes something like this. This is my 100, this is 200, this is null, this is 1 and 2. I'm going to use the same example. Okay, so here I'm going to have 100, isn't it? So P is equal to start, which is nothing but is going to become 100, which is nothing but this node. Okay, while P is not equal to null. In this case, it is not equal to null, isn't it? So it is not null. So this is true. I'm going to execute this. So what I'm going to say, cout P data. So what is P data? 100th data is 1. So the output is going to be 1 initially. And then I'm going to say P is equal to P link. So what is there in my link? Here it is going to be 200, isn't it? So P value is going to become 200. Again, I'm going to come back and check if P is not equal to null. P is not null. So again, true. So I'm going to cout P data, which is nothing but 2. Okay. Why 2? Because P is in 200. So P is over here. So when I say data of P, it is nothing but 2 is going to get printed. Again, P is equal to P link. So what I have here in link, so P value is going to become null now. Again, I'm checking P is not equal to null. Is it not equal to null? False. This is equal to null. That's why I'm not going to execute this. I'm going to come out of this function. Okay, so I have got my output. So see here, I have printed the contents of my linked list. So that is what we are going to do in this particular function. So print function prints the content of each node of the linked list. Right. So these are the 2 functions. Now let's see the other 2 functions. What are those? First one is the insert. Now this is the main function which we want to use. We are going to insert a node in the beginning of the linked list. So let us take an example. Suppose I already have this, right? I had my 1 here. I have 200 here. This is my 100. 100 is stored here. Another one is 2 here. This was 300. and 200 here. Now, what am I going to do? I want to add a node in the beginning. That is over here. I want to add a node, right? So initially what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new node of type node, right? So, and then I'm going to allocate a memory for this. So when I write these two, a node is going to get created in the memory, right? Which has data and the link part. Now I'm saying the new node data is nothing but the number, whichever number I'm passing in the parameter. So what is that? New data is, suppose I say 3. It is going to get stored here. And I'm saying new node link is equal to start. So the link part is going to have whatever is there in our start. What do we have in our start? I have 100. So this is how we are going to create a new node, right? Now I'm going to say start is equals to new node. So suppose 400 is the memory of this. When I say start is equal to new node, my 100 is going to get erased over here. And what am I going to store here? I'm going to store 400. So when I do that, this link is going to get broken and it is going to point over here. Similarly, since this is saying 100, a link is going to get created over here. So by doing that, now we have added a new node at the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to say cout number, that is 3 is inserted at the beginning. I hope this code is clear. So easy. All we have to do is create a new node and allocate the memory using the new operator. Then at the data, whatever the parameter we are passing in the function, I'm going to store it. And the link I'm going to say whatever is there in the start. Okay. And then I'm going to say start is equal to this particular new node. By doing that, the start is going to point over here and whatever the link is there previously, which was there in the start, I'm going to add it to our new node. By doing that, I have inserted a new node in the beginning of the list. Now next, count. How do we count a number of nodes? Now since I have added my new node at the beginning, so this is going to become 400. This was 400. This is 100. This is my 200. This is 3, 1, 2, isn't it? This is 100. This is 200. This is my null. Right, let's count. So initially I'm going to say star p. This is very compulsory thing which we are going to do. Okay, so for p is a pointer variable which is going to hold the address of a variable of type node. Initially I'm saying c is equals to 0. This is going to be the counter for our nodes. Then I'm going to traverse each link. I'm going to say p is equal to start. Start is nothing but 400. So this is where my p is right now. I'm saying p is not equal to null. Is p is equal to null? No, it is not equal to null. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to say c++, which means c is going to become 1. And I'm going to say p is equal to p link. So what is there in the p link? I have 400, isn't it? So this is going to become 100, which means it is pointing here right now. Again, I'm going to check if p is not equal to null. No, it is not equal to null. Again, I'm going to increment my counter and I'm going to say p is equal to p link again. So what is there in my p link? I have 200. So p is going to have 200 now. Again, I'm checking if p is not equal to null. No, it is not equal to null. Then what I'm going to do? I'm going to increment my counter to 3, right? And then I'm again saying p is equal to p link. What is there in the p link? P link value is nothing but my null, isn't it? So this is going to become null. So now when I check if p is not equal to null, this is going to become false because p is equals to null, isn't it? So I'm not going to increase the counter. Directly I'm saying the number of elements in the linked list is whatever value I get at the end for c, which is 3, isn't it? So how many nodes do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. That is why we are getting the value 3, right? So these are the basic 4 functions which are there in the our class. Now let's go ahead and see the main program. So in the main, initially I'm creating the object of the class linked list. We know that as soon as I create an object, what is going to happen? The start is going to get initialized to null, right? Next, I'm creating another data item and character ch. Now I'm saying, do you want to insert a node at the beginning? If you say yes or no, whatever value you're saying, it is going to get stored in ch. Okay, and we are checking if the upper, we are going to convert whether you have given the value in the uppercase or lowercase. Irrespective that, I'm going to convert it into an uppercase and I'm going to check if it is yes. If it is yes, that means if you want to insert a value or insert a node at the beginning, then I'm saying enter the item to be inserted at the beginning. Okay, so this is a very user friendly kind of a function which has been written. Okay, if you don't want all this, you can skip all of them and directly call the function, but this is a proper way or a user interactive way method of doing it, right? Where you're asking whether he wants to insert or not. Obviously, if you're running a program, you might think that why would he ask that, but it is a better way of doing it. So if you say no directly, we are going to come out, isn't it? If you say yes, only then we are going to call the insert function. So in this case, I am asking the user himself to enter the value, right? And then whenever he is entering the value, I'm calling the insert function with that particular value here. And then I'm going to say, do you want to insert the node at the beginning? Again, I'm going to ask him whether he wants it or not. Okay, so these are all optional things. If you find it very complicated, you need not do that. Okay, and then so once I do that, once I check that, if it is not yes, if it is no, then what I'm going to do, I'm directly going to print whatever the nodes are there in my linked list, and also I'm going to count and print them, and I'm going to say thank you. Okay, let me show you the output which is given in your textbook, so it's going to be more clear. Okay, so initially I'm going to ask, see here, do you want to insert a node at the beginning? So I said yes. So when I say a yes, it is asking enter the, so that it is going to enter into that while loop, and it is going to again ask enter the item to be inserted at the beginning. So initially my start is going to be null. Remember that. Okay, so as of now my start is null. So when I said yes, I am asking the user to enter the value. This is the data item. This is where this is going to get stored in my data. Okay, so 111. So when I say that, it is going to get stored here, right? Okay, so suppose this is 100. This is the address. This address will vary from system to system. Okay, so data item is going to be this, and this is going to be the address. Next, again, I'm asking, do you want to insert a node at the beginning? Again, I'm saying yes. So see this carefully. So what is going to happen? Again, I'm going to insert it in the beginning, which means I am going to remove this link, and then I am going to add this new value again, right? So what is it? What is the new value? 222. So this 222 is going to come over here. Clear? Now, do you want to insert a node at the beginning? Again, I'm asking. Again, I'm saying yes, and 3 is going to get inserted. So again, I am going to add this over here. Okay, 333. And then this is where my link goes. Okay, so again, do you want the insert a node at the beginning? Now I am saying no. Okay, so by this 3 input, what is the final linked list is going to look like? So this is my start. So 333 is going to be the first node. Okay, then 222 is going to be my second node, and then 1111 is going to be my third node, and here it is going to be null. Hope this is clear. Okay, so as and when we are entering it in the beginning. Okay, so that's why we entered this first, and after that again I said yes, I want to insert a node in the beginning. So again I entered it before this, and after that again I entered this. So that is why it is coming in this order. Now, once I come out of the while loop, what was there? We had print, isn't it? So what we are printing? We are printing the data item of the each node. We are traversing on each node and we are printing it, right? So I printed 33 first, and then I printed 22 first, and then I printed 111 first. So see, it is coming in this order. Okay, and then we had called the function count, right? So the number of element in the linked list is how many? 1, 2, 3. Don't worry that I have not written the address over here. That is not as of now important for you all. You need to print the data item correctly, because the address part might vary When you're doing it in the lab, from one system to one system, it might vary, but the data item has to be the same. It has to come in the same order, remember, okay? So once we say the print the number of counts, we are going to say thank you. So this was written in the printf, right? So that is what the output was. Let me show you the thank you thing. So first I said, do you want to insert? Then inside the loop again, I'm going to ask, do you want to insert in the beginning? Okay. So after we completed this, we printed the data items. We said the, we printed the number of counts, which is over here. Then finally we said, thank you. Right. I hope this program is clear to you all. So that's all in today's session, students. In the coming session, we are going to learn more operations on linked list. Hope this is helping you in your preparation. Thank you for watching. Keep learning. Okay. Take care.